Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, everybody. Welcome back to another 1 p.m. PST YouTube stream. I'm your host, Strange Bear Jim, and today we got ourselves some more topics to go through for the Pega environment, for the Pega certification. So if that's what you're here for, look forward to that. We got some more Unreal setting later on today, or in the next hour. Or I've been doing this for a while. I mean, I should be able to say this. 1 hour from now, we'll be doing the Unreal Engine tutorials and learning on that, so that we can prepare for, building a clone and then making something for ourselves, so that we can potentially sell off to others, and maybe maybe make a little money off of it. You know, be helpful for both of us. um, so we'll see what we can do on that. Then got some more videos to upload after that. Gonna be making sure that we get some videos set up so that we can um, so that it's available for everybody to consume from the past streams that I've had. And then later on tonight, we got Genshin Impact. So, um, and we'll probably be joined by Blackheart on that as well. Um, so we got a lot for today. It's going to be a long stream, so strap yourselves in for that one. If you're just here for the Pega video, or if you're like watching this, like if you're here right now for the stream, just for the Pega video, thank you for stopping on by. Thank you for joining me on this. If you're watching this later on YouTube, um, if you don't already know, I have a playlist full of these Pega videos available for you to consume. So, um, hopefully you'll join me for continued videos from here on out. Feel free to check out the other playlists. And don't forget to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. That would be fantastic. Um, but let's get into why am I doing these videos for the Pega environment? What are they? What am I doing? What's going on here? All that kind of jazz, right? Who am I? So, um, I am currently a unemployed software developer whose last job was with the Pega environment. I wanted to, while I'm waiting for someone to give me a call for an interview, um, uh, I wanted to take this time on these streams to try to work towards getting my certification. It's been a long journey, but I need to really make sure that I understand this well enough so that when I actually get into um, another position, like or this is a long journey to get the certification so that I can put place that on my resume so I can actually let people know that hey, I'm certified in doing this kind of work. Please hire me. You know, even though technically I have worked at a job prior with Pega environment, you know, companies aren't gonna care too much about that. They want to see that certification. So, so that's what this is all about. Okay, my journey to get the certification. Now, um, I there's two reasons why I put these videos up on YouTube. One, I mean, the first major reason is like if I have any kind of questions, then I hope that, you know, individuals from the like the Pega Academy, um, Pega veterans, Pega leads, Pega managers will look at these videos, look at the questions that I'm asking, or hear the questions that I'm asking, and um, try to give me you know a valid response as to what is going on there. Is it something that the Pega Academy needs to work on, or is it something that I'm not understanding? Most likely, it's probably just me not really understanding what's being said sometimes. Um, so the questions are there for those individuals. Um, the second reason is for those of you that are also joining me on this journey to get your certification as well. Okay. Maybe you're also working towards that goal to get, you know, whatever certification you're aiming for. You know, now technically, I'm aiming for the system architect, and we've already covered business architect. If you're looking for any of the other ones, then sorry, I can't really help you too much at this point, or any point probably in the future. Like I said, my main goal right now is just to get the system architect certification. If I do anything afterwards, then we'll come across that when we get there. But for right now, system architect is my main goal. Okay. Now, um, if you're looking at these videos and thinking that I am some kind of authorized training partner or this is meant to be instructor-led training, then no. I'm sorry, I can't help you on that one. I'm not a Pega professional. I don't know everything that there is to know about Pega. So I'm not going to be able to give you every little insight that there is when it comes to Pega. Okay. I'm going to have questions much like the rest of you. Okay. Um, but I'm hopeful that you can at least join me in these videos in um, working together towards achieving our goal for the certifications anyway. Now, um, um, I had, my past work was involved with the Pega environment. We were trained by an authorized training partner, even though we had a really hard time with them. Um, a good majority of us, if not all of us, had switched to self-study because we weren't getting what we needed from him. Um, the guy's coworkers knew, that we were not happy with what was going on with the training. Um, they saw firsthand what was going on themselves. So, but instead of putting us back in through another training cycle with a different authorized training partner to ensure that we knew everything that there was to know about Pega, we were basically forced into the contracts. Um, I was forced to try to take the certification once before, but I knew that I wasn't ready, and I failed it. Um, I got 6 questions wrong, more than what I needed. Um, you know, so if I gotten six questions right, I would have passed the certification by, you know, just by the smallest margins. But um, but that's not something that anyone should really be striving for. You should be trying to strive for, getting the highest score that you possibly can, right? So, uh, it is what it is. If it fell on me to try to continue working towards that. I didn't at my last job. I kind of hoped that I would have like a more of a mentorship. Um, but more often than not, I hear about people just, kind of doing a hands-off approach, and it's like, come on, guys, be be more mentors. You know, if you're a lead, even if it's not a Pega environment lead, you know, C++, Java, um, Python, whatever, you know, whatever language that you consider yourself like a master of, teach it. You know, help new programmers out. Okay, don't be um, don't be so walled off from being able to share your experiences with other new hires. You know, can't stress that enough. We need more mentors out there. Otherwise, um, the new generation is just going to be redoing the same mistakes that the old generation has already done, has already made. And guess what? We're gonna repeat history if that's the case. So, you know, don't do that. Don't, you know, I mean, there's a lot of mentality going on nowadays that feels like a lot of people don't remember their history very well. So, um, they don't really take their history classes seriously, and they're missing the key points of what you know can cause problems. But that's another topic. Um, okay, so um, getting back to Pega. Um, like I said, we're continuing our system architect journey. I've already covered business architect, so if you're here for that, then you have a lot of videos to catch up on my playlist. I've already covered the two missions and the two modules already for the business architect. So if this is your goal, if you wanted to do the business architect certification, you're welcome to go through those videos and join me in that journey there. Now I will recommend these two modules here are covering the Pega Express delivery, so I would recommend that you cover this mission to get a better understanding, because this is 12% of your certification exam, all about the Pega Express. I don't feel these two modules does it. I don't think that it's enough. So I highly recommend that you do the Pega Express delivery. Now, I'm doing the 8.7, but as you can see, there's already an 8.8 and a 23 apparently being made or has been made. So, um, but hey, if you're already like if you're trying to learn to pay for, Pega 23, and you're you might, obviously there might be differences, because I've been putting in suggestions for them to kind of fix, certain versions, some of which is like, hey, you misspelled a word, maybe go back to the old version and repair it, which is kind of ignored, which is very odd. You would think a misspelling would be something easy to fix, um, but yeah, this is, um, hopefully you'll get, some glimpse of, um, what's changed and what's new, or what's new for the newer versions. But in the end, it's all meant to try to help you learn to get through and pass the certification anyway. So hopefully you can still make use of these videos if you're uh, doing later content. But it's here for you if you want it. Okay, so grouping fields in views. So we have the layout group. Now, yesterday we covered a lot of emails that I had and talking about that. So I never got to the next topic. So I apologize for anybody that was kind of that came in yesterday, hoping for some more topics or challenges or anything along those lines. But I mean, it's kind of meant to, um, you know, uh, to show like, what their stance is on some of the suggestions that I make. Some are saying, sure, no problem, we can fix that, or some are, well, this is how it is. So, you know, you're gonna have to take that, you know, for for what it is, and hopefully, improve upon it or build upon it. So, okay, so what are layout groups? A layout group separates content into individual panels and permits users to view a group of related data one panel at a time. Layout groups optimize the space on UI views without sacrificing the amount of information presented at once. You use the layout groups to improve access to content for users while reducing or eliminating the need to scroll the browser window. It is a best practice to use this option only when the number of panels is limited. A layout group can contain any number of dynamic layouts, column layouts, repeating dynamic layouts, and other layout groups. Layout group formats. A layout group enables you to specify the type of navigation used to navigate the individual panels. You can configure a layout group to organize panels of information in a stacked, tab, accordion, or menu format. A layout group can be configured using both Dev Studio and App Studio. As a best practice, use a template in App Studio that uses a layout group instead of converting a section to full section editor and adding a layout group in Dev Studio. For more information about creating a layout group in Dev Studio, see creating a layout group. So, a layout group formats are described below. Well, okay. Here's the thing that I'm gonna be kind of wondering about. Okay, so system architect is typically individuals that use Dev Studio like all the time. Why are you saying more information about creating a layout group in Dev Studio when that should be your main focus to begin with? You know, if this entire section, if this entire mission is about Dev Studio for a system architect, then this should be like, you know, one of the first things, not maybe the first things, but it should be included in this process, you know, in that, you want the individual to be learning, you know, this, while they're going through it, if you want to build, with the Dev Studio, maybe have them work on something like this themselves, you know, create a challenge for this or something, you know. It's just, there, in some ways, you know, it often feels like you're, that Pega Academy goes, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and set this up for Dev Studios and system architects. Oh, well, no, we're gonna go focus more on App Studio. It's like, you're supposed to be going down this one highway kind of a thing, and then you're like going, oh wait, no, we're gonna go sidetrack and go App Studio, which is more business architect, more often than not. And it's like, guys, if you want, the system architects to know what they need to know to get through their certification, you have to stay on track with Dev Studio, you know? Whatever. Okay, we move on. Um, layout group formats are described below. Stacked list layout. use a stacked list layout to organize panels of information as a vertical stacked list of panels. A stacked list layout is typically used when the content is displayed on large screens. So there's your stacked, meaning that you have one piece of information and then another piece of information, another piece of information, kind of all on top of each other. So tab layout group. Use a tab layout to organize panels of information as a series of tabs. If a tab layout is configured so that the cumulative width of the total tab number is more than the available container width, a menu is displayed instead. It'd be nice if you could kind of show the menu being displayed as well there, guys, but I mean, I do like the fact that they are, they have basically a GIF showing the rotation, changing the tabs, and they're kind of repeating it over and over again. So I appreciate that level of detail that they're doing there. But I mean, it would also be nice to see this as well. Accordion layout. Accordion layout. Use an accordion layout to organize panels of information as a vertically stacked list of headers that users can click to reveal or hide content associated with the item. An accordion layout is like a menu layout, but the items in the accordion layout are always visible. So, you just click on the next portion and it opens up the description and the button in this particular example. So, menu layout. Use a menu layout to organize panels of information into groups accessed from a menu. A menu layout can help reduce vertical scrolling on smaller devices. But yet, at the same time, you might have some problems with that as well, because if you're talking about touch and what happens, you need to keep the menu open after the first initial touch and then try to register where the second touch is, which can be a little problematic at times. Personally, I would say I would probably go more with an accordion layout, you know, if I was to do anything with a small screen. But, that'd probably be me. Or maybe a tab layout. But again, tab layouts tend to, require more of a larger screen size than anything else. So, hey there, Roblox, how you doing there, bud? Welcome back to the stream. Um, so yeah, we got that all covered out. So let's go ahead and check out the question here. So what is the benefit of using a layout group? So layout groups help optimize how content is presented to end users by reducing the amount of information that is displayed. Reducing the amount of information? No, not really. You don't really want to. I mean, the idea is try to, show as much information as you possibly can within the screens that you have. So you want to try to display as much of information as you can, not necessarily reduce it. So I don't find that first answer correct right at this moment in time, but we'll move on. Let's check out the other answers here. So layout groups help optimize the content presentation in a tabular format. I mean, helped optimize content presentation? Sure. At a tabular format? No. Unfortunately, it's not just a tabular format. So um, layout groups help display many panels of information. That's true. Layout groups help optimize how content is presented to end users and reduce the need to scroll. Um, I mean, sure, you can still kind of do that. Okay, well, apparently the many panels of information isn't correct. Um, 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 I mean, I guess. Yeah, okay. I guess I was wrong on that. With the many panels of information. Um, so, um, guess it's this one. Yeah. So, you know, help optimize how content is presented to end users and reduce the need to scroll. So, um, you know, obviously, some, you might need to try to eliminate the need to scroll, but I mean, let's face it, a lot of information might not necessarily get away with that. So, obviously reduces probably the best option. So, okay. Well, I missed that question, so that's obviously not gonna work well in my favor when it comes to the certification. Okay. So, um, obviously when you're doing the certification, you're gonna need to make sure that you know, um, like I said, one word could make or break you on these answers. So, you know, one looks like it would, you know, you would think would work perfectly fine, except for one word. This many. So, if that many wasn't there, then this answer might be perfectly fine. You know, um, but it's that many right there that causes the problem. So you're gonna have to be ready for that when it comes to certification because they have questions and they have answers that are just as vague or just as um, tricky to get through. Okay, so you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna need to know, um, what you're gonna be tackling. So, all right. So we got 3 questions for the module quiz. So, okay, so layout groups help developers design a blank that is optimized based on the amount of blank you want to present. Layout groups organize and group blank into blank. So, um, well, I mean, the amount of information you want to present. That's pretty easy to go with right there, right? So, um, layout groups organize and group fields into panels, and layout groups help developers design a user interface that is optimized based on the amount of information you want to present. Layout groups organize the group fields into panels, so that should be correct. Yeah. It'll be weird if I had gotten that one wrong. I'd be like, wait, what? You want to configure a view that features 2 panels of information, coverage selection and selected coverage overview. The view mockup is included above. The content of both panels automatically wraps based on screen size. How do you achieve this configuration? Um, let's see. Uh, Well, I mean, mm, okay, so here's the thing. Each one of these is talking about a different layout group. So you're gonna need to know what you are, um, what you are, um, what you want to show here. So, um, uh, but here's the thing. You want the person to be able to select multiple options in the coverage section, right? So having something like a accordion or menu might not necessarily work. Same with the tab layout. I don't really like those kind of layouts when it comes to, showing the fact that you can select multiple options. So I think a stacked layout would probably be best in my particular opinion. So, which they disagree. Okay, so let's see what they have to say about this. The content and layout groups does not automatically wrap based on screen size. In a stacked layout group, the contents of both panels are always visible. Right, but you also have to take into consideration that you're needing to kind of show the fact that you need to have them select multiple different options here. So, okay, well, um, tab layout doesn't work for screen size. Um, and um, menu might not necessarily work in this particular case, so accordion might be the best one out of the bunch. But unfortunately, I don't have the feedback there, so they're really kind of focused on the screen size. But the problem is that you're talking about, selecting multiple coverages, which you also have to take into consideration there, guys. So I don't know. We'll see if this one works. I just don't know about this particular question. Um, if all your interest is just on screen size, then sure, but I mean, there's other considerations that you have to take into when you're building something like this. So, we move on. In a vehicle insurance case type, which is displayed in an image above, allows customers to identify one or more vehicles covered by an insurance policy. Which layout group format is used in the vehicle insurance case type? Okay, well, this is a tabbed format, you know. So, you know, that's not accordion, that's not menu, that's not stacked. So that was fairly easy in that question. So, okay. I want to see what their feedback was for that second question that we had. So give me a second. Let me go through this again. Um, so um, stacked would be basically, Prius with the information, then Wrangler with the information, and Odyssey right below with, more additional information kind of thing. Not exactly good for trying to save space, right? Accordion is when you have like the Prius with like arrows showing the information. You click Wrangler and it closes Prius and opens up the same similar windows with with all the information there. But obviously it's slightly below. And then of course you got Odyssey with the same kind of information, again slightly below. So once again you have a larger screen area being used there. So not exactly great in that context. Menu format might be a little bit better because then you just have one button there that you can have like multiple different vehicles, not just the Prius, Wrangler, and Odyssey. You can just kind of have the menu right there. You can select with it, and then it shows all this. But obviously, tab is what they're showing there. So, okay. So we eventually picked the accordion layout, which they mentioned in a dynamic layout, the content of layout automatically wraps based on screen size. Dynamic layouts can be organized into layout groups. In an accordion layout group, the panel headings are always visible and are selectable to expand the associated panel. But I mean, you can also kind of do a screen size with the menu. The problem with this is the fact that it's like, um, how will the customer know that they've selected liability coverage and collision coverage at the same time? That's why I'm not really happy with, these kind of layouts in this particular case. Um, accordion menu and tab doesn't show when you've selected multiple different coverages. So, if it was me, I'd still probably go with a stacked layout group there. Or, or what you're gonna have to do if you're basically forced to do like an accordion menu or tab, then I would recommend that you basically, like have something at the very top saying liability coverage selected, collision coverage selected, so that the customer can actually see, what they have selected already. So, so that's all. Uh, but that's going to be it for this module quiz and for this particular module. Um, we're pretty much done with this particular section. We're going to move on to the next challenge after that, which is again grouping fields and views, but you got 3 tasks for 15 minutes there. So, um, according to the scroll menu, it looks like we're like halfway through. But as you can see, there's still a lot of modules and challenges that I need to kind of get through. Some are, fairly short, according to them. Some of them can be fairly long, really fairly long. Um, so we got our work cut out for us. Um, Now, obviously, I'm going to let Blackheart know when I get to the mission exercise and mission test that I'm going to be going beyond the normal 1 hour. Um, it will definitely go into the time that I would normally have for the Unreal Engine uh, tutorial study sessions, so I won't be able to do those on those particular days, but we'll get to it when we get there. But for now, that's going to be it for today's Pega study session. So, I want to thank you all for joining me on today's session. Thank you, Roblox, for stopping on by. Appreciate it. Um, hopefully I helped in some small fashion in your studies for the, whatever certification that you're going for. Um, if you're watching these videos later on YouTube, feel free to, you know, chat with me, talk with me about, the topics, ask questions if you want to. I will do my best to answer them if I can. If not, I will try to find, one of my past coworkers to help in that particular question. Um, but don't be afraid to ask said questions, okay? Because that will help you learn, okay? So don't be afraid on that. Um, and as always, anything you can do to help me out with the YouTube algorithm would be fantastic as well. But that's it. That's where we're going to go and end it for tonight. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I catch you next time. But until then, take care. Have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe. And I'll catch you strangers next time.